Yeah, and I know you don't do just printmaking. I
Right.
saw some of your work with the Cha-Cha program,
Yes.
which was, see, that's with the Icicle Fund, is that right?
That was through the Icicle Fund, supported by Methow Arts and Icicle Creek Center for the Arts.
Yes, and I saw this photograph of you working on this humongous piece of paper. It was like
Yes.
12 feet?
Yes,
Yeah, 12 feet
Yeah.
wide and maybe 3 feet.
roughly.
And you did this entire image, mountain landscape on this paper. And
Yeah.
it's like, wow, it was,
Yeah.
I wanted it, but,
I brought a mini one.
oh, good.
Mini version. I made this during the Cha-Cha residency. So I was lucky to spend 3 days in the Methow working from the environment, and our theme was Cha-Cha, so conservation, history, and art. And we spent time at the different William Stafford poetry sites. So 7 or 8 of his poems are posted throughout the Methow. And so it tied in perfectly because I've been wanting to draw up at Washington Pass. And like you saw, one of the things I've started doing actually at the residency in Bellwald in Switzerland was making large landscapes. And you can purchase Japanese paper, what people think of as rice paper, but it's actually frequently mulberry fiber. It's called kozo paper, and you can buy it in rolls. You can also buy it in sheets, but you can buy it in rolls. It's very strong because the Japanese papers have long fibers, and so it's tough. And I basically prepare these large rolls of paper, like you said, 12 feet, 9 feet to 12 feet, and they're about 36 to 38 inches wide, so I can get as big a sheet as I want. I draw on them with ink, so it looks like painting, but I have a very large pen that I dip in the ink and try to capture the landscape on this large scale. And so that residency, it was sunny, it was warm, it was perfect. I was sure I was going to be out there in like 10 layers, trying to keep my paper dry. But when I've had the opportunity, I've started trying to do these large landscapes. In Switzerland, I had a chairlift, so I just took my paper up, and I didn't have to really hike much at all. Here, I've had to hike Icicle Ridge to get up there. But for Washington Pass, obviously, you just drive there. And I was able to find a nice spot where I had a view of the mountains in the pass and create a large landscape. And part of the idea behind it is marking a moment in time. So I'm drawing this. I only have an hour or two. I can't spend all day there. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's too hot. I've had aggressive sheep coming up to me, meaning like, what are you doing in my space? Helicopters moving things over me, slightly terrifying. Rain, impending rain, wind. And the idea is to get my paper down on the ground. Sometimes it's heather, sometimes it's rocks. Weigh it down with rocks and find a sense of that landscape. And so it's not a long drawn out process. It's like right now, how fast can I draw? But it's about this moment in time. And to get a little meta on you, as you pass through a landscape, it takes time, but you're also capturing just this one moment of time.